That is the sound of the jar of names. We should pick out a name. I have a name. This video is for everyone, including but not excluded to Overlord Master. Right then, so this is a cup of tea in a podcast. This is a cup of tea. And this is the podcast. Right, if you want to head down to my comments, it's not there, might not be there just yet, but it might be there sometime in the future. You can go to the skip list to skip to this week's update, this week's topic, this week's question, and this week's goals. We're going to start with update. So, we are still delayed. I was hoping to get caught up by, I can't remember when I said, but I was hoping to get caught up, but that didn't happen because, unfortunately, we're doing my final major project at the moment, and I want to make sure that is like top notch. That this is going to be, if this turns out really good, my final major project for college, I'm going to hopefully take this to like, what's the word? Festivals and stuff, like film festivals, because that's the quality I want. And so far in my head, it's going to do it, but whether or not that actually happens, we'll see. But yeah, so a lot of time's going into that at the moment, which is why I haven't had a chance to do some of the videos to get caught up. However, the ball is starting to roll on that now, so we'll hopefully get caught up very soon. I have got a plan, which is, for me, after I've done this, I'm going to edit all of the Dark Chronicle videos, as well as record the next lot. And then I'll do the Dishonored videos on Wednesday now, as well as edit all the Dishonored videos, and then on Friday I'll do the next podcast, and hopefully that should all sort of work out in the end. Have I actually recording properly? Yes, yeah, when it looks a bit quiet. Yeah, so that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Maybe Friday will be on track. We'll see. We have had some issues this week as well. For some reason, actually, I'm going to give it a go now, see if it works. My Hauppauge capture, which I used to record my video footage for games, I tried to do it yesterday because I was going to record Dark Cloud yesterday for myself, but it didn't work because whenever I loaded up the Hauppauge capture, it says it's getting input into the signal into the computer, but it's not actually showing up. Like I re-downloaded it to see if it helped. I thought maybe it was the actual device, but it's not the device because the device can be recorded through a different software called ArcSoft Showbiz. That works fine. So it's something to do with the connection to the actual software. I'm looking at it right now. It says input resolution. Well, obviously what it is. So it's it can recognise it, but it's just black screen on the actual player. And when I record, it's just corrupted video. So I don't understand what's wrong with that. It's not working. I've updated everything, so it's not working on the Hauppauge capture. So I'll just have to go over to ArcSoft Showbiz, and hopefully that works. I think I used to use it, so it should be fine. We'll see how it goes. We'll find out in a few weeks because that's when I'll start to roll out the videos with that software. The other issue was I didn't the pointing episode for Dark Chronicle last week. I nearly forgot to do. I've just realised that I've got to do it now. But when I loaded it up, it said that the audio was all wrong. It was like it was a big massive. It looked like I'd edited it, but there were these massive little like blocks where it looked as if it was just no audio. So I don't know what it was. And I think from what I worked out, judging from what I was saying in the actual video, is for some reason the audio attached to that file was for a different pointing episode. So like they had obviously all the audio was in different places because it was for a different video. So I have no idea what happened there, but I've managed to sort of find the right one and put it all together. So that was the issue that arose. It's fixed now. I just wanted to let you know because I thought it was an interesting topic to mention. But yeah, so now let's go on to the topic. So we'll go on to this week's names. So this week, we're probably going to do the same as last week. Get out the Dark Chronicle videos first because they're ready, and then get out the Dishonored videos. So what we'll have today is the podcast right now. It's what you're listening to. It's a cup of tea podcast. Have another sip of my tea. And then after this, you'll have another Dark Chronicle video called Legendary Stones. It's more lore about the stones. You should know what that is by now. And then we'll also have something called Fishing for God, which I think is a very nicely named title because we are fishing for God, which is quite unusual. And then we've got another one which is, again, about the Legendary Stones lore. It's called 3 Atlamilia Powers, although I do believe that is my theory about certain objects and how it could all be connected with Dark Cloud 1 and 2 in an alternative timeline sort of scenario. But that's actually quite a good one if you want to listen to that because I think I'm onto something. And then after that one, it's called Defeated My Enemy because I defeated my enemy. Linked to one of the last week's episodes with the capital letter ones of moles, so you probably guess which I've defeated. And then we'll have one called Georembled, which is callback to Dark Cloud videos before, where I used to call it GeoRemble, the assemble of something or other. So obviously similar to that. Then after that, we'll have some Dishonored videos towards the end of the week. One's called Home Base. It's a shop here in the UK, but we're also talking about our home and base in Dishonored. And then we've got one called Blunted Knife. Remember, the Knife of Dunwall is the DLC we're playing right now, so what do you think that could mean? And then after that, we'll have something called Master of Disguise, which is where we start the new DLC. And then we'll also have a pointy episode called Newest Palmbrinks Hunt, which I need to sort out the audio for because it's all fishy. Last week's hint for what video was coming out on Couple Adventure, that was a bit late, which I apologise for, but it was a photo hunt, and Porto Cassia is Italian for a photo hunt, or photo hunting, I think is what it was called. The direct translation, but yeah, pretty cool. There is not one for this week's hint because we're behind with Couple Adventure. Like I said, I don't want to just put things out for the sake of it. I've just cut out one completely. It was going to be a cooking one. It was going to be something called frittata, but I'll just cut that out completely just because we haven't got the time to do it, and I want to make sure that they're all done properly and not rushed. So hopefully, that'll work. So we'll have a next week's hint in the next podcast because that's when it'll be out. In fact, I think the next video should be out. Okay, the next Couple Adventure video might be out a little bit after Friday, just because maybe I want to put out the podcast first, but we'll see how that goes. But yes, let's go. In fact, let's put the hint in this week. No, we won't, because I can't be bothered. Okay, then, so what should we go on to next? It is the community section. So let's go on to the community section. This is where the community is the key, basically. Alright, so Mention Monday. These are the people that commented on last week's videos since the last podcast. So we shall now go through their names. We have Horia, Max Ravage, Dragonlord 55511, Il Lupo, Bernard Termier, Nick Pro, Evan Ryan, Spudley Dudley, and B-Man Ben. So welcome back to all of you people. Thank you very much for commenting. I hope you've enjoyed the episodes this week. Has anyone seen 40k Worry Man? Where is he? He's disappeared. I hope he's okay, my friend. I hope he's okay. I hope he is okay indeed. I was going to send you a message saying, are you alright? But I feel like that might be too needy, which is a common trait. Right, okay, so now I'll go on to the Q&A. So 2 questions this week. We have one from Dragonlord55511 who says, hello, Sir JD262. I have a question and a riddle for you. Question, what is your at least one of your favourite savoury pies? Not the dessert ones. Funny you should mention that, because don't particularly have a lot of dessert pies. Usually here in the UK you have sort of like steak and kidney, chicken and mushroom, beef and ale or onion, something like that. And I don't like mushrooms, so that cuts off chicken and mushroom. So it's always usually one of the other two. As for favourite ones, not really bothered. They're all very nice. And the riddle is, look at me, I want to play. I'll move you in every way. Be tricky, but the result is always a draw. Why? Because I'm an expert at response and call. What am I? Hint, it is the name of one of the Disney classic cartoon Mulan that she sings when she felt disgraced for her family and ancestors after failing the expectations of the matchmaker lady. It is also the image you see when you look at a mirror. Okay, I was reading that, I was like, what the hell is this? And then the last bit, I got it from the last bit. Let me go through it again. I want to play, I'll move like you in every way. Okay, yeah, so it is a reflection. Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, that would have been a really difficult one. I wouldn't have got that unless I got the... I didn't even get the Mulan bit, it was the last bit that I got. And then we have a question from Horace. Says, name that movie. A factory owner doesn't let his workers leave. Answer is written backwards and upside down. I actually saw this one. I sort of read it because I could. It's very hard to read it backwards, I will say. But yeah, this film is Schindler's List. And I feel like I'm trying to work out if this is offensive or not. Because obviously it's true, a factory owner didn't let his workers leave. But it was... that seems to paint it quite lightly. But yeah, that's quite a good one. Schindler's List. Right then, turn the page. We're now going to subscribers. So last week we were at 1,317. We've gone up 12 names this week, which is a lot, to 1,329. Still think something's going to go wrong soon. And then we're going to read off the names now. Then. So this week we welcome to the community Defcut18, Danny Rucco, Mining Man 76, and Lick Avia Spirit Heart. What a name. Yeah, so thank you to welcome to the community. We are a happy bunch of people. Aren't we, guys? Smile and wave. Okay, so now we're going to go on to questions. So last week's question was, is anybody going to watch Medici, Masters of Florence? Because, it's so good. Il Lupo replied with, ooh, the Medici show on Netflix. I've heard it is very good! Exclamation mark. A few more after that. I must check it out now. You should. Oh, it's so good. The music is one of those things. I love things about influential people. and I just watched this and I'm just like, oh yeah, the music makes me want to get stuff done. Like, it's so inspirational music, which is just like fantastic. Like, I'll listen to it and I'll be like, yeah, I want to get stuff done now, especially with me being behind and stuff. Like, yeah, get it done, yeah. But, it's just so good. And there is going to be a season 2, which I'm so glad about, and it might actually be about his grandson, which is Lorenzo the Magnificent, which is the one from Assassin's Creed 2, which is like, I know him. Yeah, but that's good. Right then, let's go on to this week's question now, which is coming up at the end of quarter 2, so it should be June time, maybe the 30th, maybe the 23rd, I'm not sure which day yet. I'm going to do this new video series that I've always wanted to do. I've hinted about it in the past. I've even told you what it is in the past. That was way in the past. But yeah, what I want to ask you is, do you have any idea about what this new video series might be? Because it's going to start very soon. Like, the date is the 23rd or the 30th. It might be the 30th if I don't have another idea to do, because I need to think of a new one for another Cup of Adventure video. But if I can't, I'll have to do one that will be a sort of like a response to this one. So that means I'll put that one up on the 30th, and then the new one will be out on the 23rd. But I cannot wait. It's going to be a little bit stressful for myself, because it's like, it's different than what I've ever done before. But let me know if you have any ideas about what it could be. Obviously, I can't tell you if it's right, but I might be like, maybe, if you get it close. Okay, so this week's comment, or theme, or whatever you want to call it, goes to a response to another commenter, and it goes to Bernard Tamir. So basically, Horia said in Dark Chronicle, he got it wrong. He wrote down, let the enemies hit you and see what happens. Now, the response to this from Bernard Tamir was, you die, which obviously is what would happen. But the reason why, obviously, Horia got it wrong, because he meant to say, hit the enemies and watch their red little bubbles go down, and then they'll get into like a stamina rage mode, which, yes, I do understand about that, yeah, but I thought the fact was like, let them hit you and you're like, you die? Because I thought, at first, when I first read the comment the first time, I was like, is he trying to get me to die? And then obviously, yeah, someone else thought the same, and it was funny. So that is why Bernard Tamir got this week's comment. So now we're going to go on to goals, which I'm very happy about, actually. It is a success. The goal was to get half of quarter 2 videos written up or planned out, which has happened now. I've done it. Win. However, I did cut one out because I wasn't going to do that one in the end, which I suppose is cheating in a way, but it's not, it's fine. So now, the goal for next week, by the next podcast, which should be done, I've planned it to be done by then, is to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 video planning episode thingies, my bobs. The plan is to do 2 a day, apart from one day where I do 3, because one of these is not going to have much writing, because it's going to be about a special event that happens in June, so I can't obviously do most of the planning on that one until that actually happens, but I can start it and think about what I can do. So yeah, should be done, we'll see, because in reality it's like 6 videos, but I also need to think of a new one that I can do to replace one that I can't do, because I mistakenly got the dates wrong of that one as well. It's so confusing because I can't show you what I'm looking at, but yeah. That's this week's goals. But now we're going to go on to the outro. So last week's What Film was like a little homeless lady, which is from Wreck-It Ralph. And also, just to clarify, I did do Thor the other week, where it's like, that's lovely, I'll have another. Horia pointed out that it is actually wrong. It is just another. I love this drink. Another. Yeah, it's weird, because I typed this up because I always want to make sure I get the quotes right and stuff. And for some reason, I found a quote that said what I said, but then I looked back at the actual scene itself, and it was different. I was like, why is that different? So it makes me wonder if maybe they said it again as in reference in the same film or another film. And, yeah, I just got the wrong type of quote. I don't know. We'll see. But there. So now we're going to say the rest of the stuff, like a finished cup of tea, which I'm not going to, because I'm going to save that for my recording next. But yeah, what I will say is, until the next time we meet, I'll say farewell. But now I will leave you with what film? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest of them all? That's a tricky one.